So today I'm going to take a different route to work. So normally I turn right. Today I'm going to turn left. Complete stop all the way to 0. Check. You guys going pretty fast. That guy's going pretty fast. So I mentioned about left turns being more dangerous. So they account for 22% of all intersection accidents. So again, very important to be patient when making left turns. Make sure traffic is clear. Enter your travel lane and up to speed, 40 miles per hour, lane change. Here's blind spot. Continue to monitor. Once all 4 tires are in your lane, then you can disengage your turn signal. You're going to make a right turn. It widens out to another lane. Now, since there's a bike lane next to me, it's a solid white line. Sometimes you'll see people crossing over the solid white line, especially when it's a little wider and they can make a right turn. They try to squeeze in there, but you shouldn't cross it. Now, some cities will have a dash line up at the intersection, which means you are allowed to cross it at that point. This lane ends. Merge into the left lane. Speed limit's 40 miles per hour. Disengage your turn signal. Pedestrian on the right. So when you're approaching a still green light you don't know how long it's been green, it might turn yellow, so be prepared. You're going to speed limit 40 miles per hour, and right there, you're going to slow down. If we were much closer, like at this point, I would take my foot off the accelerator, let the car start coasting, then the car behind you, if they're going to try to beat that light, they can go around. But at least that way they know you're preparing to stop if the light turns yellow. And otherwise, if you suddenly stop and they weren't expecting that, sometimes the car behind you is getting ready to go through that yellow orange light as well as if you do. So if you end up braking late, they're already gassing it, so be careful with that. Make sure the intersection is clear. Speed limit 40 miles per hour. Shout out to Peoria School District. I used to drive a school bus for them. Route 153. So you see workers on the side. So again, speed limit is 40 miles per hour. Cars exiting the quick trip. So right here, I'll take my foot off the accelerator, start to coast, be mindful of the light changing, but if it doesn't, then I'll resume, being aware of the car in front of me braking. Lane change. No left turn up here. Left lane. I think those cars are there was a police officer in there. Pedestrian over here on the right. Scan, identify, predict, decide, execute. Scanning, identifying, predicting. Hopefully they don't get closer to the curb. You decide if you do, I won't be able to make a lane change, so I would just slow down, possibly even have to stop. Big truck up ahead in front of me. So all these are the things that you're mentally doing as you're driving. And again, if you're if you have a permit but you don't have anyone to practice with, just follow these videos and do what I do while you're in the passenger seat. Like, be scanning. Don't just be on your phone and say, you know what, I don't have anyone to practice with. If you were driving, you wouldn't be on your phone. So then pretend that you're in the driver's seat and be scanning, be seeing if the light turns yellow, would you have had enough time to stop? Does the driver you're with stop? We're getting in a bad habit of running or accelerating to beat a yellow light. And Arizona, unfortunately, is number one in red light runners with major fatalities in intersections. So it's always better to get in the habit now of knowing your speed, how long it would take your car to safely come to a stop, and have the mindset of yellow, slowing down and stopping if you're not already in the intersection and you're able to stop safely. So a lot of cars do that, and that alone is illegal. You're not supposed to accelerate to go through an intersection. You should be able to safely make it through. If you were close enough that you couldn't stop, you should be able to safely make it through that intersection, even if the light turns yellow, to the other side before it turns red. They're based on the speed limit for that road and giving you enough time to either stop safely, or if you were close enough excuse me, to the intersection, that you would make it through that light. So again, anytime you drive, take a different route, you're going to see different things: construction, lane change, blind spot. So you notice the barricades, the lines diagonally to the left, so they're designed to guide you. So when those lines are facing to the left, when you turn that corner, it's guiding you into the lane you should be driving in. So again, with construction, always want to be more alert. Especially around the vehicle and pedestrian, worker, employee. Ironwood High School, speed limit 30 miles per hour. Make a lane change. Yeah, so basically this is what we'll be doing on the live stream. I'll be driving different routes, helping you see the challenges, how to navigate those safely. If you'd like more information or would like to join me on the live stream, visit our channel, like, subscribe, share. All right. Nice clean car. Okay, so I want to drive through this neighborhood. I want to drive through this neighborhood over here. There was some kind of barricade being put up. Oh, we're probably gonna do some resurfacing. But anyway, you could be living in this neighborhood, turn in, all of a sudden, bam, got all these barricades. Alright, this is the wrong street. So, Arizona, it's legal to make a U-turn as long as you can complete it without backing up. Complete stop before the sidewalk. Just check no pedestrians, bicyclists, joggers, dog walkers. Turn into your first lane. Yeah. So notice you got a sign that says keep right. The barricades are slanted. The diagonals are going to the right, indicating what lane they want you to turn into. I could have already turned. Make a complete stop. So again, they're diagonally facing to the right so that you find guiding you in which lane you should be driving in. Road work ahead sign, keep right. Looks like they've been doing crack sealing. So, funny story. When you get to be my age, you've done quite a bit of things. So I worked for the town of Gilbert. One of my first jobs moving to Arizona, and I was on the crack seal team. Employee slow. Ooh, look at that, G. You never know what you'll find when you're out driving. Look at that. What's that? Impala? Nice. So over here, you notice how they got the lane blocked off. Keep left. But you got to be careful because, again, you're sharing the road with oncoming traffic, especially off a main road like this. So you don't want to get too far to the left. There's still enough lane here for 2 cars. But if you move too far to the left, especially up at the intersection at the end of the road, someone might be coming in and they turn wide. So as soon as you're able to move back into your side of the road, all the way to 0, check for pedestrians, bicyclists, motorcycles, look twice. Make sure you don't see that one headlight coming down the road. And turn nice and center in your lane. Whatever the speed limit, 40 miles per hour. Lane change to the left, mirror signal, and head check. As you do it. All 4 tires in your lane, turn on your turn signal. Continue to scan ahead. So normally, excuse me, you'd be traveling in the right lane, but I know I'm going to be making a left up here. That's why I went ahead and made the lane change to the left. Left lanes are for passing, and if you're going to be making a left, they're not a travel lane. You can't get cited for that and possibly given a warning, but and always be careful of making that left again. 22% of intersection accidents are those making a left turn. It's a relatively small car in front of me. Now we got a designated green arrow so I can go. if there was a bigger car, like one of those garbage trucks in that turn lane, I'd be real leery of taking a chance at a flashing yellow left arrow when it's a yield to go, because if you can't see, if you don't know, don't go. See, so many people take that risk of like, well, I can't see, but I think there's no one coming, and they try to gas it and don't realize there's a car right there. So just be patient. Making left turns is the key. No left turns here. Instruction. So I like the shadows of the cars in front of me, because when they cross an intersection, I can see the shadow, 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000, 4 1000, 5. I got about 4.5 seconds of traveling distance, of following distance between me and the vehicle in front of me, especially with a bigger vehicle, more distance. So yeah, just use any fixed reference, any of those electrical poles, anytime it crosses fixed point, that shadow right there, the pole, 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000, 4 1000, 5. As long as you have minimum of 3 seconds, that's a safe following distance under these weather conditions. Of course, if it was raining, you would add 1. If you're driving a big vehicle, you can start at 4 seconds following distance. It's just going to take you longer to bring your vehicle to a safe stop. And complete stop. Again, you have to make a complete stop, even though you can go on red after you stop. Check the intersection is safe, then you can proceed. It's not a yield. You are required to stop. Red means stop. Remember in that video, red means stop. And up here, past the light, I'm going to be making a left turn. So I'm already planning that out, right? I already know my route. So if I'm going to be making a left turn, I have to be checking traffic, be aware of my following distance, how many cars are in the left lane, and then I need to communicate with them so they're ready for me to come over. After this little car, there's a truck, or the SUV. And then after this car, I'm going to put my turn signal so the car behind me knows, and then the truck behind this car knows. And now, just check my blind spot and move over. Yeah, so basically this is what we'll be doing on the live stream. I'll be driving different routes, helping you see the challenges, how to navigate those safely. If you'd like more information or would like to join me on the live stream, visit our channel, like, subscribe, share with others who might benefit, those who you know have recently received their. See, that at that point, at that yellow, you don't increase your speed, you just proceed through it. That's what the yellow light is for. It's not to give you time to accelerate, to make it beat the red. Because once you're that close, then you proceed at the same speed limit. You have to know your vehicle to know at what point, if that light turns yellow, you still have time to safely go to a stop. It requires practice. And again, scanning ahead, identifying, predicting, deciding, execute. You predict, I don't know if this light's going to turn yellow, but you decide at what point you would proceed. Like this point, I can still stop. At this point, I can still stop. Right now, if it turned yellow, I would just proceed safely through the intersection. But if you hesitate and the car behind you is waiting for that light to turn yellow so they can accelerate, and then you slam on your brakes at the last second, they're going to ram into you. So scanning, identifying, predicting, deciding, and then executing beforehand will help, because even as you approach that intersection, I usually just coast and take my foot off the accelerated coast. My speed might drop like 1 or 2 miles per hour, But the car behind me already knows, okay, this car is preparing to come to a stop. So they're not accelerating, they're actually preparing for me to stop, which is much safer than them thinking, okay, he's going to go, and then I slam on my brakes, and they're already accelerating. So again, a good way to navigate approaching a green light that possibly may turn yellow much safer. So again, comment down below anything you'd like for me to consider, a drive that you'd like me to do, perhaps the airport, something that you think might be challenging, and I'll do a live stream or record the route and then post it for you guys to benefit from that drive. So that car on the left is impeding the flow of traffic. They're driving the speed limit, which is good, but they have 5 cars behind them. That's impeding the flow of traffic. They could actually get ticketed for that. The left lane is not a travel lane, and you're supposed to drive on the right lane so then traffic could flow around you. See, he's causing cars to come around him. That's illegal, impeding the flow of traffic. You can travel the speed limit and still get ticketed. And the key is, the factor is when you have 5 cars stacked up behind you, at that point, the police officer will be over and give you a ticket for impeding the flow of traffic. Interestingly enough, the speed limit you're allowed to legally go over the speed, the speed you're legally allowed to go over is 0. You can't go over the speed limit, but the law also doesn't allow you to impede the flow of traffic. Okay, good job, guy. You finally made it over to the left. What happens is, when you're in that left lane and you're going the speed limit, then cars start going around you, which makes it now even harder for you to go into the right lane. So as soon as you possibly can, move back over to the right lane so you're not impeding the flow of traffic. So good job, that guy finally did that. Maybe you'll watch this video and benefit from it. Safe travels on no matter what road life takes you. Reach my back cave.